Hey everyone, this is Tanya. Thanks for tuning in to Black Women Read, reviews of books, zines, and everything in between. For this video, I'm reviewing the film Traffik. And it's interesting. I remember this film being promoted around the same time of Gabrielle Union's movie Breaking In. However, while I know Gabrielle's film made it to theaters, I don't recall Traffik getting a release. I might have missed it, but after watching the film, I'm guessing it went straight to video. This is not to say that it's a terrible film, but rather cliche. I mean, I guess you can say that about Breaking In as well, but it's rare we get an action film with a black female lead kicking ass, so maybe that's why it received more promotion. Before I do my review, I'm going to have to get into my Paula Patton rant. Paula Patton to me is the only person worse than Halle Berry when it comes to acting. And I'm speaking as far as black Hollywood and black entertainment. Because even Halle has had her moments here and there. And no, I'm not talking about that racist film, Monsters Ball. But I thought she did a good job in the Dorothy Dandridge movie. And she actually earned a Golden Globe for her portrayal of the black icon. I also thought she was good in Boomerang, and I know that's going way back, but I thought she made a cute and charming Angela. Then there's been a couple of recent films she's been decent in. I thought she did well in Gothica, in the film The Call, in which she played a 911 operator. So Halle has did her thing here and there, whereas with Paula Patton, I just haven't seen it yet. And it's interesting because Paula is often the lead in films, particularly black romantic comedies. She's often the woman being pursued, yet she lacks charisma to me. So the only thing I can think is she has a look that is palatable to mainstream audiences. To me, Paula is a biracial Jennifer Aniston. They both have rather personalities and average acting skills, but they keep getting these major roles. So I think that's what's frustrating to me about Paula is that I feel sometimes she's taking up space that could be given to a stronger black actress. With that said, I was willing to give her a chance with this film, but alas, it was not meant to be. I guess she just doesn't do it for me, and that's okay. But I did notice she's listed as the producer of Traffik, so maybe that's more her strong suit. Producing, writing, and directing, which is great. We need more women behind the scenes, so I'm hoping that's an area she's getting more into. Okay, so that's my bias against Paula Patton, which probably is something one shouldn't have when doing a review, but hey, it's my video, so. But Traffik actually wasn't too bad of a film. It's something to watch on a lazy Saturday afternoon, although I do think it could have been elevated a bit more with a stronger actress. The film is a fictional take on the issue of sex trafficking. In the film, Paula's character, Bria, is a struggling newspaper reporter. One weekend, her boyfriend, John, played by Omar Epps, decides to take her to his friend's vacation home with the hopes of proposing to her. And let me just say, the side characters were a bit much. And I know the side characters often tend to be more eccentric than the main couple, but these two were a bit over the top. Snorting coke and pulling out guns, oh my. And no, I'm not spoiling anything. You pretty much see the film in the trailer. On their way to their love nest, the couple stop at a gas station. Bria goes into the restroom, and unbeknownst to her, a woman slips a phone into her purse. The phone contains information of women being trafficked. Meanwhile, John is being harassed by some bikers who are also part of the trafficking ring. The bikers follow Bria and John when they leave the gas station and terrorize them along the way. The couple eventually lose the bikers and go to the house. Now, personally, I think at that point I would have gotten out of Dodge. But I guess we wouldn't have a film if they did that. Of course, later the bikers and their head boss figure out the couple has the phone. They go to the house and stalk them throughout the night. At this point, the film becomes a cat and mouse game like most films of this genre. The heroes trying to outwit the villains. What does turn out to be interesting, and this probably is a spoiler, is that it turns out the whole town the couple are in is part of the trafficking ring. The sheriff they think is going to help them is actually the main leader of the biker gang. This film is loosely based on real events around sex trafficking, and I can see a town being involved in this. There are so many small, obscure towns in America. I could see people using trafficking to fund their town's economy. And actually, that was the scariest part of the film, how prevalent trafficking is in our communities. It's horrifying to know many people only care about making money and not the exploitation of girls and women and sometimes boys. After watching the film, I decided to do a little more research on sex trafficking. And I'm just like that. Whenever I read a book or watch a movie, I like to learn more about the topic. I came across a really good article that highlighted the issue of sex trafficking and why black girls and women in particular are more likely to be sex trafficked despite the image being that of a young white woman. In the article, it notes, the typical face of sexual trafficking in America today matches the faces of the 501 juveniles that have gone missing in the DC area in the first quarter of this year. According to the FBI, 40% of victims of sex trafficking are African Americans, with that number being significantly larger in major cities. In Los Angeles County, the African American victim rate reaches 92%. In overwhelming numbers, the persons most likely to be victimized are vulnerable black girls and women. The article goes on to state that sex trafficking victims are typically treated as chattel property, similar to African American slavery in the South. The mindset of being able to buy a person is a notion that is deeply ingrained in the American psyche and that never really left, despite changes in the legal reality. Further, the article shows the 4 intersecting reasons why sexual trafficking exists. 1. White privilege and white access. 2. Racism. 3. Gender identity and gender objectification. And 4. Poverty. The article states, in order to find a valid solution to the question of the disproportionate way sex trafficking affect the African American community, each of these phenomena must be taken on. Earlier, I mentioned Gabrielle Union. I also came across an article she wrote last year on the issue of sex trafficking and black girls and women. Gabrielle Union has done a lot of great work around the issue of sexual violence due to her own experience with sexual assault. Her article, How Gender and Racial Disparities in Human Trafficking Affect Women and Girls of Color, is a must-read. So, despite my biases regarding Paula Patton, I encourage everyone to watch the movie. It's a decent film, and it's bringing to light an important issue. I give Traffik a B-. Thank you for listening, and I will put the links to the articles in the description box. See you at the next video.